Okay, so we were talking about attribution. Attribution is finding out the cause of a particular behavior which is showcased by other people or which is showcased by us. We can also call it labeling the behavior or labeling the cause of the behavior by us or by the other person. Now there are two types of attribution which are there. We have internal attribution or we have external attribution. We also call internal attribution as dispositional attribution. So what is internal attribution? If my friend behave angrily, I would say that her personality is like that only. Okay, example. ठीक है, so whatever behavior which is there, we will attribute the cause of that behavior to their internal or to their personality traits, or it is also known as the dispositional attribution. But what will happen in the external attribution? We will say that the situation was so. We do that, right? Ki when we are asked, "Arey, why did that person behaved in that way?" We have two kind of causes or two kind of attribution. We might say, "Arey, the situation was like that." Anyone might have gotten angry at that situation, and there are other times when we say, "Arey, she's like that only. Her personality is like that only." Right? So there are two types of attribution: internal, external, or dispositional and situational. We are not going to go a lot into depth of attribution. We will discuss the errors which can be made by the people while attributing the behavior of the other people. First, there is a fundamental attribution error. What is fundamental attribution error? Which happens more, like it is more prevalent in nature. ज़्यादातर we make fundamental attribution error only. ठीक है, so we'll do what? We will say that the behaviors, the others' behavior is the cause of their internal attribution. ठीक है, जो दूसरों का behavior है उसको हम attribute करेंगे उनकी internal personality से. ठीक है, and we will overlook the situational factors. This happens most of the time na. For example, there is someone who came late. We would not even consider that there might be some situation, or maybe there might be something, or maybe there might have been some mishap because of that we are late. We would directly label their behavior, the cause of their behavior, to be because of their personality. They got angry at us because they're like that. They did whatever because they are like that, and we are overlooking the situational aspects while labeling the behavior, while attributing the cause of the other people. So it is the tendency of people to do that, and fundamental attribution will always be related to the labeling of the attitude of or labeling of the behavior of other people. ठीक है? Then second, we have self-serving bias. What is self-serving bias? In this, we are labeling our own behavior, why we did what we did. Okay? So herein, what do? We are very smart. We will say the negative traits are the result of the situations, and the positive things which happen or the positive behavior are my disposition or are my because of my personality traits. Okay, this is the second error that we make, which is known as self-serving bias. Now, the third kind of error that we make, actor-observer bias. Now, in this, both ours and others' behavior are evaluated. Who is the actor? Us. Like the other person is the actor, we are the observer, right? For example, इसको हम ये भी बोलते हैं बहुत बारी कि I fell she was pushed, like sorry नहीं उल्टा बोला, she fell and I was pushed. So for the same behavior, for the same whatever like has been there, I will say my own behavior was because of the external or because of the situational factor. So हम जो अपने खुद के behavior या जो खुद के actions हैं उनको external like externally attribute कर देते हैं, and we will say the others behavior is because they are like that, because they did what they did. ठीक है, so we have these three main errors. Fundamental attribution error, which is the tendency of people to overlook the situational factors while attributing the behavior of the other people. Self-serving bias, where we are okay ma'am, can you please state the examples in English also? Okay, so I am going one by one. So fundamental attribution error is while we are labeling the behavior of other people, we are overlooking the situational factors. So for example, if there was someone who got stuck, like who got late because they had to meet me, so I will be like, oh, you always get late, you are always like that, you are so careless. So what I am doing, I am labeling the other person's behavior as internal, and I am overlooking the situational factors which might have been there, such as traffic or any other mishap or maybe any other urgency that they had. Fundamental attribution error, and it is most prevalent. Most of the time we commit this particular attribution error. Second, we have a self-serving bias. Self-serving bias में we are labeling our own behavior, our own actions. So if there is any negative thing which is there, which has happened in my life, I will attribute it to the situation. I will say, oh, I'm not like that. All the negative actions which were there, they were there because of the situation. And all the things which are in the positive light or positive outlook, I will be like, oh, I am such a sweet person, I'm like that only. Okay, so that is self-serving bias. In order to serve our own purpose, in order to show our own successes in positive light and failures in positive light also. Okay? Now the third error that we talked about, actor-observer's bias. In the actor-observer bias, we are observing the behavior of both. We are observing our own behavior also, and we are observing the other person's behavior also. Herein for the same behavior. ठीक है, यहाँ पे same behavior है. For example, there was a party and maybe a person A and there is me. So if both of us fell in that party, so I will be like, "Arey, she fell. She is so clumsy. She does not know how to walk." And even if I fell, I would be like, "Arey, someone pushed me." So what am I doing? I am saying that my own behavior, my own actions are because of the external factors, because I was pushed by someone, but the other person's behavior is because of their disposition, because of their internal factors. There might be multiple MCQs or in a lot of entrance exam that you are going to give, which might come from these errors. Okay, maybe you were not asked about internal external, but you would be asked about, you will be maybe given a example and you would have to label what kind of error that the person, or what kind of attribution error that the person committed. Okay, is it clear? If you have any query, please ask, then we would move ahead with the next topic. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Okay. Okay, then moving ahead, there is one more error, but like we would discuss it in a different light, जिसको हम victim blaming भी बोलते हैं. I hope you all have heard about it. Just world hypothesis. You can take it as a separate topic also, and you can also take it as a attribution error. That is on you, but you should know that there is something like it would actually exist. So herein victim blaming happens. हम क्या बिलीव करते हैं यहाँ पे? वी बिलीव दैट द वर्ड इज जस्टिफाइड, the word is fair to each and every one, and if there is a wrong thing which happened to you, it happened to you because of your own reasons. It happened because you are like this, it happened because you must have committed some crime, or maybe you are that person. ठीक है, तो believe in just world hypothesis, ठीक है, और believe in just word भी बोलते हैं, जहाँ पे we blame the victim. So you can also be asked a MCQ like कि what is the attribution error where we blame the victim, or you might also be asked कि what is the phenomena where we blame the victim. It is believe in just word hypothesis. तो यहाँ पे we might end up believing the victim, we might end up like believing innocent victims, not the people who are actually faulty, but the people who are actually innocent, but we are still are like, arey, the word is just fair. If you are homeless because you must have did something, because you are so careless, you are not hardworking, you did not do the work. ठीक है, so that is about it. Moving ahead to the next topic, which is social influence. And under this topic we are going to cover 3 aspects. We are going to cover conformity, compliance and obedience. ठीक है, what is social influence? Even while we began with social psychology, we said that the presence of other people actually influence our thoughts, our feelings, our behavior. And there can be 3 types of social influence which can be there. There can be conformity, there can be compliance, and there can be obedience. Now what is conformity? Conformity is that somebody is creating, or maybe because of the peer pressure. ठीक है, for example, there like when we are maybe even when we are old also, so what happens, we accept something because of the peer pressure or because of the social pressure. So here in the conformity, the behavior would change because of the social pressure or the presence of other people. ठीक है, in compliance is agreeing to someone, agreeing to a request. So for example, if I ask you, please can you text someone, so you will agree to my request. You will not agree because there is social pressure, because you want to be accepted by me, or no, you would agree to the request. You would agree to the request made by me. ठीक है, obedience is what? Obedience is when we agree or when we change our behavior because there is an authority which is giving us some kind of instruction to do so. ठीक है, let us go through it one by one. We'll learn about various experiments which are related to conformity, compliance and obedience also. So first, conformity हमें पता है, we want to be confirmed by the other people, we want to be accepted by the other people. Whenever like you are in any kind of social situation, if you are working in a company or if you are studying at a school, what do we want? We want to be accepted by our peers. We want that the others feel that we are one of them, we are doing what they want and everything. So here the behavior change is due to social pressure. There can be 2 kind of like there are 2 experiments which are there, which were conducted in terms of the conformity. First experiment was conducted by Muzaffar Sharif, and the second experiment was conducted by Solomon Ash. ठीक है, let us look at the Muzaffar Sharif's experiment. Muzaffar Sharif actually worked on the autokinetic effect, which is if there is a dark room, if you have observed this, if you are in a dark room and there is a dot of light which is there, we think or we perceive that the dot is moving here and there, which is autokinetic effect. So Muzaffar Sharif actually created a setup where he put in people in a dark room and he asked those people to tell us that the light moved or how much the light moved. So for example, the light moved from this distance to this distance. That is what the actual perception was. Okay? But what was happened? People, there was actually a person that they put in that particular room to tell that okay, the light moved a great distance. The light moved maybe till here. Okay? So there was this one person who said okay, the light moved a lot. Still, there were quite a lot of people who would say that okay, the light moved. There would be few people who would believe that the light did not move, but they would still agree to the other person. तो ऐसा नहीं होता. There is like we are asked to read the room. We are asked to tell कि okay, you should reply in a way that is desired by the room, the people who are there in the room basically. So if a lot of people, if most of the people believed that the light moved or this dot moved significantly or it moved or it varied considerably, so all of the people, most of the people who were there, they would still say that yes, the light moved. Okay? Just to confirm, not that they believe that, not that they saw the light moving, no, but just because they want to confirm to the people who are with them. Similarly, the other experiment was conducted by Solomon Asch. He gave 3 different lines of different height. Line A, line B, line C. Okay? And now the people were asked to compare all of these lines with the target line which was given to them initially. Okay? So for example, there is this target line which matches the height of this. There is A, B, C, and this target line matches the height of C. Okay? Now there were a lot of trials which were conducted. The answer is very obvious. You can look at it and you can tell the C line is matching on with the people. But again, there were few people who were there in the experiment who were put in by the by Solomon Asch, who said that the B line is equal to the target line. Now it is common sense. It is not even vague or it is not even ambiguous. Here in the Muzaffar Sharif's experiment, we can say that the experiment was very ambiguous. Maybe people might have gotten confused. They might have felt that the light moved. But now in the Solomon Asch's study or in his experiment, the answer was very clear. It was very simple. But still, people confirmed. Okay? In 12 out of 18 trials, people said that yes, B is the line which matches with the target line, which shows that people do confirm. People want to confirm. People want to feel that they belong to that particular group and they are not saying something different. It happens now, for example, there is a class and there is a student who gave the wrong answer. Now you will start questioning the right answer that you know, and you might also answer the wrong question just to confirm, just to not be a different person, or just to not seem like you don't belong to that group or you are different. Okay? So conformity, there are 2 experiments related to conformity: Solomon Asch's experiment and Muzaffar Sharif's experiment. Muzaffar Sharif's experiment was conducted in the year 1935. Let me write that here. Whereas there are very less chances that you will be asked about years, but still, okay. And Solomon Asch's was conducted in 1951. Okay. So if you guys have any query in terms of conformity, please ask. Then we would move ahead with compliance. Okay, moving ahead with compliance. We learned that compliance is when we agree to someone's request. If somebody told me or they asked me to make a change in my behavior, ठीक है, let me write it. Compliance. Okay. My screen is just lagging. Just give it a moment. So compliance, we learned that the behavior will change as a result of the request made by other people. Okay. Now there are various techniques which are there. We are not going to go a lot into depth. We are going to cover the main techniques of compliance which are there. Firstly, foot in the door technique. Foot in the door technique is what? Initially you will make a small request and later you will make a large request. For example, initially जो हमारे like if there is a friend of yours, initially you ask them for a pen, ठीक है, कि okay please give a pen to me and whatever, and they agreed to you, they agreed to your request. Now you would ask them maybe to give you or gift you something which is maybe more larger in capacity or more larger in size. ठीक है, for example, initially you ask someone to just give you milk. ठीक है, please, like you wanted to borrow milk, you made a small request. Now you're like, can you make tea for me? ठीक है, so foot in the door technique is that when you make a small request first and then you make a large request. So if the person complied with the small request, now they might also comply with the large request. Okay, so that is the first technique. Moving ahead with the next technique, which is door in the face technique. Is my screen still visible to you all? Okay, let's give it a moment. It's hanging a lot. Okay. I think it should be better now. Okay, thank you so much. So moving ahead with the next technique, which is door in the face technique. Door in the face. Door. We are directly slamming the door. We are firstly asking someone to do something extreme, or we are making a very large request. Okay? For example, I ask someone, okay, can you please give me 1 lakh rupees, please, whatever. Okay? So they are like, no, I can't give you 1 lakh or whatever. So then I would slyly make a small request. I would be like, अच्छा चलो 1 lakh नहीं दे सकते, can you give me 10k? So they would feel, okay, I have already denied the large request which was made by this person. Let me now accept the small request. Okay? So it is a door in the face technique when they would initially ask the person to make a extreme or a large request that they have denied. Okay? So here the large request which is made will always be refused or denied, and then they would agree to the small request. It is known as door in the face technique. Okay? Now third, low ball technique. क्या लिखा है मैंने यहाँ? Low ball technique. So what will happen in the low ball technique? Initially you will ask them to, you know, maybe okay, I should not actually give this example, but okay, so you pretend to be small, like for example there is someone who asks you to maybe go and buy something for them. Okay, for example, a friend of you asks you to buy a particular pen and you're like, oh okay, I will buy that particular pen, but when you went to that particular shop, the pen was really really costly. So initially the friend might have played really low. They might have made it seem like that they're asking for a very small favor, it's not such a big thing. And when you have agreed to the favor, then you found out, oh, the pen was really very very costly. ठीक है, तो it is a low ball, no low fall नहीं, low ball technique, BALL. Okay, let me correct it. I know why my screen has started to hang a lot, but yeah, ठीक है, low ball technique. Moving ahead to the next technique, which is high ball technique. High ball would be opposite of it, that you are pretending to make something to be very very costly, of great importance to you, and then later on you will for example, when you went to buy something, so they say that okay, it is for $100, but later on they would ask you कि okay, आप bargain कर सकते हो, या फिर I am giving you special discount. So here and there pretending to be of high cost or at a high level, but then at later on I got it at a good bargain of $50. ठीक है, so low ball and high ball. In low ball the person asked for a small favor and then later they found out that okay, it was a very heavy. Initially they played low and initially they played to be very very expensive, very high, and later on they found out it was not that expensive. ठीक है, the last type of technique there in compliance is that's not all. ठीक है, so what will happen in that's not all? ठीक है, for example, initially you will like कि okay, I will give you this for 1400 rupees and it will include everything. It will, like for example, phone. ठीक है, so you bought a very very expensive phone. ठीक है, and you have bought it already. ठीक है, now they will be like okay, I am giving you a free charger along with it, I am giving you a screen guard also, a back cover also, everything. So that's not all technique. तो वो ये कहेंगे कि देखो, मैं तो आपको फ़ोन अकेला नहीं दे रहा हूँ, आई एम नॉट जस्ट गिविंग यू अ सिंगल फ़ोन, I am also giving you other benefits. It is not all, I have other things to offer as well. So if we make a request like this, if I ask someone that okay, I am selling a particular table, along with that table you will get a very beautiful table cover, you will also get a beautiful vase and everything, so the person will, or the person might comply to my request, they might agree to my request, which is that's not all technique. I hope these techniques are clear to you. If you guys have any query, please do ask, and then we would move ahead further with obedience. Okay. Moving ahead, obedience. Now obedience, initially we discussed that obedience is when we agree to the instruction given by any authority. So there would be some authority which will be involved always in obedience, and there is this famous experiment which is known as Zimbardo's prison experiment, which was conducted, and it was such a mess, and because of this experiment there were a lot of cruelty which was showcased, and we actually had to, or we started to form ethics in psychology also, in the research also that we have. So in Zimbardo's experiment, what he did, he made two groups randomly. He made he took research participants and took them put them in two groups of prisoner and guards. and the whole situation or the whole setup that they created. Okay. Let me go through this particular experiment first, and then I will get back on low ball technique. Okay, so herein they have divided people into two groups. A group is of prisoner. They had to behave like prisoner, they had to dress up like a prisoner, and the other group was of the guards. People were given the police uniforms, they were given the all these sticks and everything which is there related to the guard, and even they were put up in a whole jail, and they were having necessary inspection techniques. Everything was happening. Like for example, they were asked to behave as like a guard and as a prisoner itself. And what happened? This study started to happen, and the guards started to behave very violently, very badly with the prisoner. They started to actually torture the prisoners. Okay? And they started to behave as if they are the real criminals. Okay? And because of this experiment, it was like the prisoners actually started to have panic attacks. They actually, even there was this one guard who was actually who died, who suicide later on. But then it was such a humongous mess, and this experiment was stopped on the 6th day, and still it is known as one of the most ridiculous experiment in the history of psychology. Okay? So we can say that out of this experiment, the role, the authority that the person were given, they agreed to that authority so much so that they wanted to give in to their role. They wanted to practice their authority, and they wanted the other people to agree to whatever they had to say. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे रोल का भी बहुत बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंस है, एंड अथॉरिटी का भी बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस है. सो रोल एंड अथॉरिटी बोथ आर इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट है. ठीक है? Now moving ahead to the next experiment which is there, which is the most famous experiment in terms of obedience. Whenever we talk about obedience, we talk about that experiment, which is Milgram's experiment. So in the Milgram's obedience experiment, what happened? He actually divided people into two groups again. ठीक है? There are different subjects. So he pretended that we have two groups in front of the people, and these subjects had to administer electric current on other participant on the commands or on the directions given by the head. ठीक है? So these other people that they were asked to give a shock to were actually the from the experiment team only, and they pretended to be other people. So they were asked to give a shock to the person. ठीक है? It was found out they agreed to even give a electric shock of 450 volt also to the person, just because they had to agree to the authority. So it was also not a very good experiment, but still herein they kind of decepted. They used deception as a method, and they saw how much effect does authority or the commands made by the authority has on the person. Even it was seen that there were few factors which impacted the result. The closeness to the participant. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे क्या था कि the people were in a separate room than that of participant. ठीक है? ऐसा था setup कि there is a person, there is a whatever keyboard or whatever they were given, and they had to press the key in order to administer shock, and there was another participant who was there in the other room, and they pretended that they are getting shock. ठीक है? चलो, और यहाँ पे एक अदर दूसरे इंस्ट्रक्टर थे या एक्सपेरिमेंटर थे जो कि कमांड दे रहे थे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर को. तो दे वर इन अ सेपरेट रूम. सो we can say that the proximity also mattered. जो participant अगर pass होता शायद maybe they would not have given the shock then. And the proximity to the experimenter also mattered, because the experimenter was just there in front of your eyes, or there in front of you, कि you have to administer the current right now. Like you can imagine it in being one of your typical classrooms. ठीक है, for example there is a teacher who asks you to maybe take the phone of your friend. ठीक है, and the teacher is just standing there and they're like take the phone, take the phone, take the phone. Then you are obliged to take the phone, right? You will be like okay, and you will submit the phone of your friend to the teacher also. But if the teacher is in the another room, or maybe if the teacher is in the other classroom and they would say arey take the phone of your friend, then maybe you would be like beg your friend ki please yaar de what can I do, whatever. So it would affect the way that you would treat with your friend, right? Similarly, the proximity or the presence of the experimenter actually played, or the presence of the authority actually played a lot of role, and people actually agreed to give a lot of electric shock to the participant whenever they made any mistake, even without any guilt at that moment. ठीक है, but even this experiment had a lot of criticism later on कि maybe these participants at that time maybe they were okay, they gave the guilt, they gave the shock and whatever, but still maybe it could have had a lot of psychological what do we say, psychological effects हो सकते हैं इस experiment के. maybe they might have felt really guilty, they might have felt I'm such a bad person or whatever. ठीक है, so that was about our different experiment. We talked about conformity, we talked about two experiment in conformity, autokinetic effect and Solomon-Asch's effect, or Solomon-Asch's experiment. We talked about compliance. In compliance we talked about five different techniques of compliance that we can use, and somebody asked me to tell about the low ball technique again, so I will go through that again. If you guys have any query, please do ask. Okay, so low ball technique is initially the person will ask you a small favor, and later on it will turn out to be really big or costly. For example, initially your friend asked you in school to buy a particular pen for them. You agreed to buy that pen, but then when you went to buy that pen on the shop, you found out okay that pen was actually $1,000. So low ball is what? They made it seem like that they were asking for a very small favor when it was actually very expensive, or it was actually very big. So they played low, they pretended to be low, they pretended that they are asking for a very very small favor, but they were asking for a very big favor. And in the high ball it's the exact opposite of that. Okay, if you have any query, please do ask. We have 10 more minutes. I will discuss the topics which I think are important, and they are kind of random, and maybe MCQs can be asked from those. We have covered quite a lot of topics today, and I think it was a fruitful class. Okay, let's just discuss few of the things again. If you guys have any queries, or maybe if you have any doubt in any of the maybe experiment or any of the theory that you might have studied, you might ask that. Otherwise I will just discuss the topics from my own end. Okay, तो ठीक है, let us discuss two aspects. Scapegoat theory. scapegoat. What is a scapegoat? Scapegoat is when we blame someone for our own problem. So it is a tendency to blame someone else for our own problem. So what happens, like if there is a group of 10 people, there is always a safe target to blame, right? अरे इसकी वजह से हुआ है, even in the family setup or anybody. So that person is a scapegoat. So people actually do what? In order to save their personality, or in order to save their image from getting tarnished, they would blame their mistakes or they would blame their problem onto someone else. Okay? Then the next topic is self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy is what? It is when someone expects something out you, we tend to behave in the same manner. So we can say that self-fulfilling prophecy is कि we tend to act in a same manner as expected out of us. Okay? It can be positive in nature, it can be negative in nature. So we have two other segregation of the self-fulfilling prophecy. We have Pygmalion effect and we have Gollum effect. Okay? Pygmalion effect is also known as Rosenthal effect. Okay? Now what happens in Pygmalion effect? Have you seen that teachers do what? Teachers ask you ki, okay, you are such a nice person, you are a good student, you are capable of it, and the student actually works hard. The student might actually start to score really high. So there was this Rosenthal experiment which was conducted, and they randomly divided people into two groups, saying that these people have high IQ and these people have low IQ. Okay? And they told it to our teacher. So ये randomly है, it is not actual. Okay? It is randomly. Okay? So teachers started to expect that high IQ student will score higher, and people from low IQ, they did not expected a lot of scores. Then the actual IQ was compared with the group that they were in. So in the high IQ, there were people from low IQ also, high IQ also. So it was shown that people who were there of low IQ actually, and they were put up in high IQ, and they were expected to score well in exam, their marks actually improved drastically. And people who were there of low IQ, okay, who were even like people who were there in the group of low IQ, even when they actually had high IQ, still their scores actually downfall, their scores actually deteriorated. So we can say that the positive effect is known as the Pygmalion effect, that when we are desired to behave in a positive manner, when the teacher actually encouraged the student, and when the teacher actually said that yes, you are capable, you can do that, you have all the things, you are really intelligent, then the student will start to score well. And Gollum effect is just the opposite of it. It is negative. When people actually expect negative things out of us, then we start to behave in that particular manner. So it is positive in nature and it is negative in nature. So if you are given a question, where there you are asked when you act in a way which is desired out of you, then you would ask that it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you are given specifically that it is positive in nature, when you start to behave positively, when people actually expect that out of you, or when they encourage you, or when they like behave with you in that particular manner, then it is a Pygmalion effect, and the negative is Gollum effect. ठीक है. If you guys have any query, you may ask. Okay, then we are done with today's class. We have covered the most important topics which are there in social psychology. We have covered a lot of them. I think we have not touched based upon aggression, though there are only two main theories by Berkowitz and Zillman which are there in terms of in terms of aggression. Just give it a read, it's really simple. Except for that, I think we have covered almost everything which is important, which can come up in terms of the social psychology. So yeah, okay ma'am, under what concept these scapegoat theory and self-fulfilling prophecy comes under? Look, it might also, these theories are actually kind of, now what happens, I will tell you. Majority of the time these theories whichever have been clubbed together, they have been clubbed by us in order for us to understand better. But the people who actually gave these theories, they did not actually give it in these terms. So you can say that maybe you can put self-fulfilling prophecy in terms of the self-perception, how we see ourselves, how we evaluate ourselves. And you can put scapegoat theory maybe in terms of the prejudice or maybe stereotype, or maybe you can say that groups के topic में भी you can put scapegoat theory. Yeah, one more thing, group theory is also important. So I will tell you 2-3 more topics that you can study by your own end. I will try to send notes of the same in the group. Let me change the slide and add those. My slide is stuck, just give me a moment please. Okay, I think you guys can note down. I'll try to type in. My slide is not really changing. Leave it. So you can do the 2 theories of aggression by Zillman and Berkowitz. Then you can also learn about, there was another experiment which was conducted by Muzaffar Sharif on groups, वो भी कर सकते हो आप, ठीक है. उस एक्सपेरिमेंट को रॉबर्स केव एक्सपेरिमेंट भी बोलते हैं. Just give me a moment. I think I will go ahead with Robert's cave. I will explain Robert's cave to you. It is really important. Yes, Aradhya. Yes, Shruti.
Ma'am, actually, I was telling that
Yes. Okay, it's okay. You can type in. Okay, I'll be writing these topic. You can note these topic down. Zillman and Berkowitz aggression theory and Muzaffar Sharif's Roberts cave experiment. Okay, you have a doubt in social facilitation theory. Okay. Okay, please tell me the doubt that you have. We'll move back to the theory. Starting part, the Norman triplet part or the Zong's theory? Second one, okay, Zhang's theory. ठीक है. Do you have a doubt in a specific part or you want me to explain it fully? Okay. Okay. So social facilitation is that our performance, we believe that social facilitation is when our performance excels or when our performance gets better because of the presence of other people. ठीक है. In the same periphery, Robert Zhang also gave his theory where he said that when other people are present, then we will experience heightened arousal. When you have to, for example, you are a dancer. When you dance solely in your own room, when no one is watching, you are confident. You are at peace, you are at your own pace, and you can dance however you like. But when other people are present, then you would get a little jittery, you will feel a little anxious, maybe you will start your heartbeat will increase and you would be very very anxious, right? Which means you will have heightened arousal. Then we evaluate ourselves whether we have mastery on the thing or we do not. For example, you have to dance when you have not even prepared, when you did not even your dance was not even choreographed, and you were out of practice since last 1 month. ठीक है. So those who have been asking for, those who have been training for dancing since last 8, 10, 12 years, they have attained mastery over that. So their performance will get increased because of the presence of other, because they would want to showcase their art in front of other. They would know of all the dominant responses, of all the desired responses which are there, and they are pro at it, they are master at it, and they will produce the same dominant responses in front of those people who are present, and their performance will be really good, their performance will excel. But talking about someone who has just started to go and who has just joined the class a week before, and they are also put up on the stage to dance, they are not the master of the craft, they might not know a lot, and maybe they are not aware of all the desired or the dominant responses which are there. So their performance will decline, or their performance might deteriorate, or it might get impaired, right? So I hope I was able to answer your question. If you still have any doubt, please ask. Others, if you have any doubt, please ask. Then we would wrap up. Please remember to do these 3 topics that I've told you, they are important. Otherwise, we have done almost everything which is there. You might also go through the definitions of stereotype, prejudice, how are they different, discrimination, all of these things. Okay then. Cleared. Okay then, it was nice interacting with all of you. You can tell me the feedback about the class. How did you like it? Is there any addition that you would like to have? I think tomorrow we are going to cover cognitive psychology, so let me know anything in advance that you have in mind, and I am switching off the recording right now.